Good afternoon, Steve. Um, what's going to be the key to getting better starts in these upcoming games that you have?
I think decision making and energy. I mean, if you go back, I mean, our first 2 minutes really, I know we got a bad start overall for the game the other night, but the first 2 minutes, we did what we were supposed to do. The first possession down there, we went our throwback post up action. We got inside. Solomon got a nice jump hook. We were up. Tyler hit a good open three. We were up 5-4. And then that window from it going kind of like to 14-7 is when we weren't very good. But I just think understanding good shot, bad shot on the offensive end, number one, and then number two, just dialing up our energy on the defensive end.
Is there any one player that can be the emphasis for that can lead that charge?
I think the energy piece got to come from Jalen. While Trey's out, I mean, they're our two biggest energy guys, and they're our two best defenders, and so it's got to come from him, from that standpoint. And then, a guy like Solomon Young with toughness plays, and then Bolton's got to step up in that area as well, and hopefully that helps other guys do the same. I think though Jalen would be the one that if I needed to try to challenge somebody, he would be the one.
Okay, thank you.
Our next question will be from Travis Lyons of the Ames Tribune. Go ahead, Travis.
Hey, Steve, when you went back and rewatched the game from Wednesday, what did you see early defensively, especially on some of the dribble penetration stuff that South Dakota State got?
Yeah, I just absolutely no ball pressure, no identity defensively to what we really tried to stress and talk about no middle, really making people feel uncomfortable, sending everything to the baseline. But we were just too comfortable. Our stance was open, no ball pressure. I think those are the two major things. But that just makes them feel comfortable, and now they got easy dribble drives, and they and you can't over rotate against them on the baseline. You gotta stunt and then get back because they want to whip it and get the ball hopping. But at the end of the day, man, ball pressure and no middle penetration. Those were the two biggest things.
Where is Walker health-wise? Kind of coming back.
Yeah, I think he's. I mean, I don't know if is he 100%. I don't know if I could say yes or no on that. You'd have to ask him or Vic on that. He was ahead of schedule to where we thought he'd be. To where we thought maybe after his surgery in the spring, after his season, we thought maybe this was a redshirt year for him possibly. But when he got on campus, when we got the kids back in July. And they did their evaluations, they were able to, have a better prognosis for that. And so we've got him back. And, it's a hard position, point guard as a freshman. That's why I'm trying to get him off the ball a little bit to try to get him confident and playing more free and not worried about, hey, what are we in, getting people in offense. I think that can help the learning curve for freshmen. And so I got to do a better job with him in that area.
In terms of the red shirt, was that made just totally on his health, or
no? That was just been a health.
3 year for everybody.
No, that was way back. I'm thinking back in April, May. When we didn't know where we were knee wise. Once he got on campus here, we had mentioned the word one time. That was more going back into the spring when he had the surgery because it was a serious knee injury. And I don't know all the details of it. I don't want to say the wrong, terminology in that standpoint, but it was a serious knee injury to where we didn't know the recovery piece until he got in front of us. And then we got in front of us, it was better. And, he did a great job in rehab and the trainers did. And but still he's, hadn't played. I mean, it's like the Vic said to me, he's like, hey, remember now, this is after his first practice. He hadn't practiced since February, and that was a month ago. And so, or a month and a half ago. So, he still got a little ways, to go, but he showed glimpses. Like I said, I got to do a better job of getting him confident. I think with freshman guards, that's the biggest thing for the coach.
Thanks. Our next question will be from Michael Swain of Slayton Alertons and 47 Sports. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, Coach, I'm just curious what you've seen out of George so far. He's played like 21 minutes, I think, through the two games.
Yeah, I think we play small. We play four guards, for the most part. And so, some games minutes are going to vary at that position. I thought we really need to establish the post. We were a little helter-skelter offensively, way too many threes and bad threes the other night. And we thought Solomon had an advantage in the post. We really wanted to work him, and he was producing. And so it could be like that, from that standpoint. But George, activity, being dominating defensively, being a great rim run guy, being great in pick and roll, and then being able to score around the basket. I mean, that's what we need from him. He understands that. We just got to do it and be consistent with it.
And then changing gears a little bit, just what have you seen from DePaul so far? I know they haven't played a game yet, but what do you know about that program?
I mean, I've watched starting, yesterday, didn't start to watch games from last year. I mean, it's all we can really do. They've got a lot of new faces with Javon Freeman and a couple other grad transfers from, Monmouth and Lincoln Memorial. But obviously they got some guys back and Romeo Weems, who's a terrific player. But, they play a up and down style offensively. They spread you out with some pick and roll, aggressive defensively. And have good activity. And obviously, if you looked at them last year, got off to a tremendous start. Beat Texas Tech at home, beat Iowa at Iowa, and were really playing well. And then they got in the Big East and obviously struggled a little bit in the Big East, but had a terrific non-conference, as good as anybody in the country last year. So, but haven't seen a lot of their new faces, obviously, because we haven't had any tape from this year. They haven't played. So, advantage, disadvantage, I don't know. They got some older guys, so I'm sure they'll be ready to go.
Thank you.
Our next question will be from Ben Visser of the Cedar Rapids Gazette. Go ahead, Ben.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned after the game that the need to develop the bench a little bit more. How difficult is that to do in a time like this, and how difficult is it to balance developing that bench and getting them playing time and obviously the need to win games?
Yeah, that's the big carrot right there. You got to try to win along the way, and like I told our guys, this is a stretch really of 5 NCAA tournament games, and so there isn't a learning curve this year. It's go play, and so that's what I have to be patient, but I still have to just put them in positions to grow and get better, or they're never going to get those opportunities. Yeah, we got to win games. I get it. I understand that. There's no question about it. But it does put you in, some tough situations to where, man, you don't have the, like I said, the scrimmages, the exhibitions, or a couple tune-up games like a normal year to where you can get these freshmen and get these new guys acclimated. We're learning on the fly. I mean, that's our first special situation in a live game that we've gone through the other night. And to be honest, we were down 1. We got the game to 1. Javen tripped on the full court pressure, or maybe we get a turnover, a 5-second call, and then I thought they did a pretty decent job of executing our action. We were looking for the 3, and they kind of took that away. But the next look was Solomon inside, and we just kind of fumbled the play there. But it is. We got to learn on the fly, and that's this world we live in right now. And so I've got to do a great job of instilling confidence and being patient. And not really, I know everybody, it's about wins and losses. I get it. But understanding, man, it's December 5th or 4th, man, we got to get better today. And to be honest, we're not even worried about DePaul today. We'll do DePaul tomorrow. It's not that complex to get that prepared for a game. We got to get Iowa State better today. And that's my biggest focus, and that's my biggest message to these guys.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Our next question comes from Travis Hines of the Ames Tribune. Go ahead, Travis.
Steve, I just kind of wanted to follow up on what you just said there. Given all that, how does that inform what you guys are doing in practice? Are you doing more 5-on-5, or are you doing more fundamental stuff, or how do you account for so many guys that don't know each other, and then the fact that you haven't been able to play 5-on-5 very much?
Yeah, today will be more. What you want to call maybe a toughness, a lot of 4-on-4 stuff where you got to put them in space to make plays, whether it's transition defense, ball screen defense. Then we'll finish up with some 5-on-5. And then tomorrow will be a lot of, 5-on-5 working against, working on some of our pressure situations where we're picking up full court or three-quarter court, working on our, full court execution, going 3 trips, 5 trips, going execution segments. Tomorrow we'll have a whole big nugget of that. Today we'll do a little bit of it, but today I really want it to be about, hey, man, what are we going to be about? We want to be about, offensively, we want to be about pace of play, ball movement, and spacing, and sharing the ball. Defensively, we want to be about making tough plays, having great activity, and nothing easy. Not giving up easy layups and open threes. And that's kind of been our message. And so that's what today's really going to be about. And then a lot of film.
Thank you.
Thanks, Travis.
Next question will be from Randy Peterson of the Des Moines Register. Go ahead, Randy.
Steve, you were talking a few minutes ago about looking at DePaul tape for the past. Does Coleman Lance help you out any at all on the scouting?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him a little bit about it, but I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit, with personnel maybe, but not. I mean, you have no idea what they're going to do this year. I mean, it's a new team, it's a new year. What they're going to do offensively, defensively. It's not like he transferred mid-semester, so I think more from a personnel standpoint, he may be able to help you with. But I mean, I asked him one quick question, but I don't think it's something where, we're going to browbeat them to try to see, what everything that they do. I mean, because, too, I don't want him thinking so much DePaul. I just want him being, right now, he just needs to be free, loose, and play. And so I don't really want to overdo it. I mean, we've got plenty of tape on them to, as coaches, understand what they're going to be doing.